May profits be upon you. We're going to take a look at New Zealand dollar Swiss, New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. All right. Let me break it down to you. I'm going to look at the individual currencies first, from the futures perspective, right? Just to kind of get a good gauge of their individual strength or weakness, right? And with the Swiss, as I broke down with the Aussie dollar Swiss analysis that I just completed and posted, you can see that there was a very bearish impulse, and all of this up and down, higher highs and higher lows was part of the correction, right? And what happens here is price gave the indication that this correction was over by breaking this market structure here. All right. Price then continued bearishly here. Impulse high. Impulse took this low technically, right? It was a technical break of this low, took the liquidity from here, and you see the quality of those candles. The quality of those candles is referring to the momentum in each of these candles. It only took 3 candles to make up for all of this impulse. This corrects that move, and it took twice as long, more than twice as long, to get down here from this same point than it took for price to correct it. This is indicating to me that there's more upside to come as price on the daily, on the in the Swiss franc, has taken that high. All right, swipe the liquidity there. We can expect a bit of a pullback, but any pullback I'm going to see as an opportunity for those who trade futures to take a long position to go higher. All right, and I believe this high may be vulnerable. Yes, I do. Okay. There's not a lot to get from the COT report, so I won't go over it, but the Swiss is looking pretty strong. All right, it's pretty bullish. Now let's look at the New Zealand dollar. Again, not a lot of information to gather from the last COT report that was released. So I'm just going to go to the actual the currency future itself. And you can see breaking these lows, right? Breaking market structure to the downside, we are bearish. We pull back and we break more market structure to the downside, we are very bearish. And we pull back just high enough to take that liquidity, Had this been a candle body break and close above that high, I would think price would probably be going higher, but that's not the case. All right. Price rejected hard, broke structure to the downside. And again, we break the swing low. This is all bearish price action, folks. It's too easy to tell. All right. And we can expect to see more bearish price action, likely to hit the target there that I set last week at 0.59230. And I didn't mention that on the I had a target here for the Swiss franc at 1.0078. All right, I'm looking to see if that gets hit. Maybe not next week, maybe not, but I'm thinking that it has a good shot to get hit next week. All right, now we are bullish on the Swiss. We are bearish on the New Zealand dollar. Too easy to see. All right, now that shows me why I need to be looking for shorts in New Zealand dollar Swiss. Let's take a look and let's look at the actual currency. We don't need to go through the daily because it's fairly obvious to see that it's just bearish. All right, we're breaking market structure to the downside and protecting the highs. There's nothing bullish in that. All right, that's on the daily. On the 4-hour, where we're going to make our money, right? We can see the corrective movement here as price comes in hot, bearishly, right? Price starts to range, right? And this is the range of price, all right? Price takes the range, sweeps the high, dips back in, sweeps the next high, dips back in. But this time it takes out these lows here, the internal lows, the internal break, an internal break of market structure to the on the inside, and it takes the swing low eventually. And that is very bearish price action. This is easy to read, folks. So the only thing to mark now is, where do we think price will go to? I mean, it's that simple. All right. I have a target set down here, 0.57047. All right. If you go to the daily, we can see it a little clearer. Why I picked that target, because there is some relative equal lows to sweep where we're touching this demand zone here. This is an actual demand zone. All right. We're about to touch down in that. Do I expect a big reaction? No, I don't. You know why? You know why? A reaction of some kind, yes. But I do believe this will fail. Why? Because it's built on relative equal lows. There's a lot of liquidity for price to come and get as it approaches the target. All right. So I'm looking for price to come down here. Look at the price action, folks. Look at the price action. That'll let you know, what's the likelihood price will either take a zone out or the zone will hold. There's not a whole lot of strength to this particular zone, but I do expect, because price hasn't traded back into this zone yet. All right, it's unmitigated, and it did sweep some liquidity to create it. Yeah, I do expect price to have a reaction here. Okay, I don't think it's just going to pass right through. All right, it may, it just may, but I don't think so. I think we're going to get a reaction once it gets down here, and once it hits this, I'm looking for 15-minute confirmations. I'm going to keep my eye out for bullish price action, because if price does pull back, I'm looking for price to pull back just to here. Really, this will be the first place I look, because of all of the structure that's here at this level already. This looks like a prime spot for a supply zone, and there is a imbalance to fill here, right? An imbalance. It's imbalanced. It did sweep the high of the previous candle high here. So I'm going to make sure I mark that. All right. So I like to see sweeps. All right. I like to see sweeps of liquidity. I like to see the imbalance left behind, a buy up to an aggressive sell-off to mark my zones. Okay. And if price decides to take this out, if it decides to take this out, I will be looking here for when price comes up this way. All right. All right. The actual zone actually starts here. We've already traded into this area. So, there's a fair chance, there's a fair probability that this may not hold price. So I'm going to watch for what? I'm going to look for bullish price action down here to see if price is going to pull back. That's number one. All right. And if it pulls back, I'm going to look for bearish price action when it gets here, so I can take that short and have wind to my back, and I'll be pro trend. All right. I'll be looking for the same here. If this gets taken out, I'm going to be looking for the same bearish price action here to take down. All right. But I am looking for price to open and continue bearishly on a Sunday. All right. I'm not sure you need to wait until Tuesday for this one. All right. But Tuesday is the CPI data for the US dollar. And if the US dollar gets weakened by the numbers, expect the Swiss to accelerate it's a bullishness. All right, and the Swiss will be the beneficiary of that. The Swiss franc. Okay, so I'm looking for price to open bearishly. If it pulls back, I'm looking for it to pull back here and then come down. Does that make sense? I hope so. All right. Do smash that like button right now if you like what I like. If you like what I like, if you like what I did here. All right. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And I want to hear from you. I want to get some feedback. Let me know, what do you think about this setup? All right. What do you think about the way I analyzed it with the individual currencies? All right. Through the futures perspective, the individual currencies strength and weaknesses. Let me know. Tell me if you have an appreciative ear for that, or do I need to just cut that? All right, just cut to the chase. All right, let me know. All right, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.